There are products at Aldi that disappear for months at a time, not because they sold out by accident, because Aldi only brings them back twice a year, on a calendar so narrow that the veterans who track it treat the reappearance like a holiday, and the casual shopper who misses it waits another 6 months, wondering where it went. 15 items just returned for June 2026. Here is everything you need to know before they vanish again. 15. The Cast Iron Cookware Collection. Cast iron is the cooking material that genuinely never wears out when treated correctly, and that single fact is exactly why Aldi only needs to bring this collection back twice a year. Once a household has it, they rarely need to buy it again, which makes every appearance a genuine event rather than routine restocking. The collection typically includes a 10-inch skillet, a 12-inch skillet, and a Dutch oven, covering the stovetop searing, the braising, and the low and slow cooking applications that make cast iron the most versatile cooking material in any kitchen. The heat retention properties cannot be matched by stainless steel or non-stick alternatives at any price point. And the natural seasoning that builds over repeated use means the cookware actually improves with age rather than degrading. The twice-annual window follows a late winter appearance in February as the spring cooking season approaches, and a fall window in October, ahead of the holiday cooking period, when braising, roasting, and slow cooking dominate kitchen activity. Comparable Lodge or Le Creuset cast iron at specialty kitchen retailers costs multiples of the Aldi price for equivalent construction quality. Former employees described this collection clearing the shelf faster than almost any other kitchen item. In the twice-annual rotation claimed by shoppers who have learned exactly when to show up, that cookware will last a lifetime, but it will only be on the shelf for days. What is coming at number 14 follows an even narrower window, and missing it means waiting through an entire summer before it returns. 14. The Weighted Blanket. The weighted blanket occupies a strange position in Aldi's calendar. It is one of the most consistently requested finds items in customer feedback, and yet it only appears twice a year, regardless of how much demand exists in between. The therapeutic mechanism is genuine and well documented. Deep pressure stimulation through distributed weight produces measurable improvements in sleep onset speed, reduces nighttime waking frequency, and lowers cortisol levels through a calming effect on the autonomic nervous system. For anyone managing anxiety, sleep disruption, or the general restlessness that interrupts a full night's rest, the weighted blanket addresses the problem mechanically rather than chemically. The fall window, typically landing in October or November, aligns with the bedding season transition, when the weight of the blanket pairs naturally with the seasonal desire for warmth and comfort. The spring window appearing in this June rotation captures shoppers thinking ahead to sleep quality investments before warmer months make heavier bedding feel counterintuitive, which is exactly why the cooling and weighted combinations sell out fastest during this specific appearance. Weight options typically span 12 and 15 pounds, accommodating the range of adult body weights that research identifies as producing the optimal 10% of body weight loading for therapeutic benefit. Before we continue, if these twice-a-year returns are already filling your June shopping list, hit that like button right now. Every item on this list operates on a calendar that does not wait for stragglers. One tap, do it now. Because what is coming at number 13 is a garden item that the most dedicated Aldi gardeners have been checking for since the moment the previous window closed. 13. The ergonomic kneeler and garden seat combination. This dual-function garden tool flips between a padded kneeling pad with side handles for leverage and an inverted seat providing stable raised positioning for ground-level work, addressing the physical reality that gardening sessions involve. A combination of positions depending on what the task requires at any given moment. For anyone managing joint discomfort, limited mobility, or simply the accumulated wear of years spent gardening at ground level, this single product replaces multiple, separate purchases that specialty garden retailers would otherwise require buying individually at considerably higher combined cost. The twice-annual appearance follows the most logical seasonal windows for gardening activity. The June window arrives during peak planting and maintenance season when ground-level work is at its most frequent and most physically demanding. The fall window in September catches the second gardening wave that autumn vegetable growing and garden bed preparation represents. Former employees who garden personally describe this as the recommendation they make most consistently to anyone they know who gardens, regardless of current physical capability, because the assistance it provides scales from convenient to genuinely necessary as both the season and the gardener advance through it. The garden made comfortable for every position. What is coming at number 12 is something that addresses circulation, health on a schedule, aligned precisely with when the body needs it most. 12. The Complete Compression and Circulation Support Bundle. Graduated compression garments assist venous return from the lower extremities, reducing peripheral edema, managing varicose vein discomfort, and addressing the circulation insufficiency that produces leg fatigue and swelling that many people accept as inevitable, rather than recognizing as a manageable condition. The bundle format delivers multiple compression sock pairs across graduated compression ranges, compression sleeves, and ankle and calf wraps in a single purchase, solving the compliance problem that single pair purchases create when daily wear requires a rotation between washes. The twice-annual window follows the 2 periods when compression garment needs peak. January, ahead of the winter sedentary period, when reduced activity worsens circulation challenges, and June, ahead of summer travel and heat-related circulation. Stress that long flights, extended standing, and elevated temperatures all compound. Pharmacy alternatives charge per-pair prices that make building an adequate daily rotation a genuine monthly budget consideration. The Aldi bundle changes that economics entirely, delivering the full rotation needed for consistent daily compliance at a fraction of what individual pharmacy purchases would total. Circulation addressed for the season ahead. What is coming at number 11 is something the entire home fragrance community treats as a genuine seasonal event, and the reason will surprise anyone who has never compared it directly against the specialty alternative. 11. The luxury Egyptian cotton towel collection. Egyptian cotton's longer fiber length produces a fabric with superior softness, superior absorbency, and superior durability across repeated washing compared to the standard cotton alternatives most households default to out of price accessibility rather than deliberate choice. The twice-annual appearance follows a late summer window, arriving in August and September ahead of the fall and winter home refresh cycle, and a February window aligned with the pre-spring nesting period that the Finds rotation consistently serves with bedding and bath textile arrivals. The collection typically includes bath towels, hand towels, and washcloths in a coordinated colorway range, delivering the complete bathroom textile refresh that households managing declining quality standard cotton towels frequently need, without the department store pricing that makes a full Egyptian cotton refresh feel like a significant household expenditure. Former employees describe this collection generating the kind of extended fabric examination at the shelf that signals a customer who knows exactly what they are looking for and is verifying the specification before committing. That was bath luxury made accessible twice a year. What is coming at number 10 is the air quality solution that returns on a calendar specifically timed to the 2 seasonal moments when indoor air becomes most compromised. 10. The True HEPAA and Activated Carbon Air Purifier. True HEAA filtration captures 99.97% of particles as small as 0.3 microns, the threshold that matters for respiratory pathogens and fine particulate matter. Below, True HEPA filtration efficiency drops significantly in exactly the particle size ranges that affect indoor air quality most directly. The activated carbon component adds volatile organic compound adsorption that APA filtration alone cannot provide. The twice-annual window follows the 2 periods when indoor air quality concern peaks. The fall window in September and October arrives ahead of the heating season, when homes are sealed and indoor pollutant concentrations rise. The spring and early summer window, landing in this June rotation, captures the late allergy season and the period when homes transition to air conditioning, sealing indoor air in ways that concentrate whatever pollutants and allergens are already circulating. The price represents a fraction of what equivalent True EPA and activated carbon specifications cost at home improvement retailers and specialty air quality suppliers. Former employees describe this item maintaining one of the most consistent sell-through rates of any twice-annual Finds product, driven by the combination of clear health rationale and dramatic price differential against every other available retail channel. Air quality addressed at exactly the right moment, twice a year. What is coming at number 9 is a kitchen appliance that serious home bakers specifically schedule their shopping around, because missing this window means an entire season without it. 9. The stand mixer. The mechanical advantage of a stand mixer over hand mixing becomes most apparent in the applications that home bakers find most physically demanding bread dough development requiring sustained kneading, creaming butter and sugar to the proper aeration level for cake batter, whipping cream or egg whites to the volumes required for meringues and soufflés. The twice-annual appearance follows a precise logic that former employees consistently flag as critical to understand. The fall window, in October and November, arrives ahead of the holiday baking season, providing the lead time needed for Thanksgiving and Christmas baking projects. The spring window, landing in this June rotation, arrives ahead of summer entertaining, and the warm weather baking that fruit season and outdoor gatherings inspire. Former employees describe the stand mixer as the item generating the most visible emotional response at the shelf in the entire twice-annual rotation. The specific combination of recognition, desire, and price verification that produces the expression associated with finding something genuinely wanted at a price that removes any hesitation. The mixer most home bakers have wanted for years, available right now at a fraction of what it costs anywhere else. What is coming at number 8 shifts entirely into wellness territory, addressing a therapeutic modality that specialty retailers have kept financially out of reach for most households until this exact rotation changed. 8. The infrared sauna blanket. Infrared heat penetrates tissue at depths that superficial heat application cannot reach, producing cellular responses including mitochondrial stimulation and a cardiovascular response comparable to moderate aerobic exercise. Population studies have associated regular infrared sauna use with reduced cardiovascular event rates, improved arterial elasticity, and blood pressure reductions at magnitudes comparable to moderate exercise programs. For anyone whose physical capacity limits access to traditional cardiovascular exercise, this passive mechanism provides a stimulus that does not require the exertion conventional cardio demands. The twice-annual window aligns precisely with demand peaks. January, when New Year health motivation drives the highest demand period for wellness products across all of retail, and this June window, when the return from any reduced winter activity creates a second demand peak for therapeutic equipment as people focus on health ahead of summer. Dedicated infrared sauna blanket brands sold through direct-to-consumer channels charge prices that have kept this therapy financially inaccessible for most households. The Aldi price removes that barrier entirely, and former employees describe this as one of the twice-annual items they most directly recommend to family members, specifically because the documented health benefit combined with the price accessibility makes the case essentially complete without additional persuasion. That was passive cardiovascular therapy made accessible. What is coming at number 7 is the final item before we take a quick break, and it is one that the gift-giving community has built an entire purchasing calendar around. 70. The weighted silk touch robe. This therapeutic robe combines the deep pressure benefit of distributed weight throughout the garment with the thermal regulation properties of a silk touch outer fabric, comfortable across a wider temperature range than conventional terry or fleece robes manage. For anyone managing the anxiety component of sleep disruption, the thermal drop that follows a shower, or simple chronic cold sensitivity, the weighted silk touch robe addresses multiple comfort challenges simultaneously in a single daily use item, whose material quality makes it genuinely pleasurable to wear rather than merely functional. The twice-annual window follows the gift purchasing calendar with notable precision. The fall window, in October, arrives in time for holiday gift purchasing. This June window provides the pre-summer and gift occasion availability that makes it practically timed for graduations, anniversaries, and the general gift-giving moments that the warmer months bring. Former employees describe this as the item that generates the most multiple unit purchases on the first available day, one for personal use and additional units bought specifically as gifts, reflecting both the universal appeal of the product and the confidence that the quality justifies buying. More than one at the Aldi price. Before we continue, if these twice-a-year windows are reshaping how you plan your Aldi visits, subscribe to this channel right now. Every week, we track exactly when these limited returns happen, so you are never the person who shows up 6 months too late. Hit that subscribe button right now, because what is coming at number 6 addresses something that affects nearly every household, and that former employees describe as one of the most consistently underappreciated items in the entire twice-annual rotation. 6. The heavy-duty outdoor storage deck box. Outdoor storage is the unglamorous problem that every household with a patio, deck, or yard eventually faces, and the specialty retail solutions for it are surprisingly expensive, given how straightforward the actual product is. This weather-resistant storage box, constructed from durable resin that withstands sun exposure without the cracking and fading that cheaper plastic alternatives experience within a single season, provides enclosed storage for cushions, garden tools, pool accessories, or anything else that needs to stay dry and protected outdoors without cluttering a garage or shed. The twice-annual appearance follows the outdoor living calendar precisely. The spring window landing in this June rotation arrives as households are setting up outdoor furniture and accumulating the cushions, toys, and accessories that need somewhere to live between uses. The fall window arrives as that same equipment needs to be packed away before winter weather arrives. Comparable storage deck boxes at home improvement retailers and outdoor furniture specialty stores carry prices that position them as a meaningful investment. The Aldi version delivers comparable capacity and weather resistance at a price that makes solving the outdoor clutter problem an easy decision rather than a deferred one. That clutter problem just got solved for half the year. What is coming at number 5 is a kitchen tool that professional bakers and home cooks alike have specifically been waiting for. Because the version Aldi sells matches commercial quality at a price point that has no comparable anywhere else in retail. 5. The commercial-grade food dehydrator home food preservation has experienced a genuine resurgence as more households seek to reduce food waste, preserve seasonal produce at its peak, and create healthier snack alternatives without the additives that commercial dried fruit and jerky products typically contain. This dehydrator features multiple adjustable temperature zones and stackable trays, allowing simultaneous dehydration of different food types without flavor transfer, a specification that separates genuine food preservation equipment from the basic single-temperature units that dominate the lower end of the dehydrator market. The twice-annual window aligns with harvest timing on both ends of the growing calendar. This June window catches the early summer harvest of berries and stone fruit at their seasonal peak, when preserving abundance becomes a genuine household priority. The fall window arrives during the main harvest season, when gardens and farmers' markets produce more than most households can consume fresh. Commercial-grade dehydrators with comparable temperature control and capacity specifications at specialty kitchen equipment retailers carry prices that position them as a serious investment purchase. The Aldi version delivers equivalent function at a price that makes home food preservation accessible to households who would never have considered the specialty retail price point. 2 reasons left before the most important items on this entire list. What is coming at number 4 addresses something that the senior independence and mobility community has been specifically tracking, because the twice-annual timing on this one is more deliberate than almost anything else in Aldi's rotation calendar. 4. The lightweight Rollator walker, with seat and storage mobility support equipment, has historically been priced by a medical supply market that reflects a captive customer base rather than genuine competitive pressure. Anyone who needs a Rollator walker needs one regardless of what that market charges for it. This aluminum frame Rollator delivers the strength-to-weight ratio that makes daily use manageable without the physical burden of heavier steel alternatives, paired with ergonomic hand grips, a padded seat for rest stops during longer outings, and a storage basket for the purchases and personal items that independent community mobility involves. The twice-annual appearance follows a deliberate logic. The January window captures the post-holiday period, when family members who spent time with aging relatives have mobility and independence conversations freshest in mind. This June window captures the pre-summer period when increased outdoor activity and travel make mobility equipment upgrades a practical priority before the season's heaviest use begins. The weight specification is what former employees describe as most immediately impactful. In customer reactions, with the aluminum construction producing a noticeably lighter feel than the heavier medical supply alternatives most people have previously experienced, the price sits at a fraction of equivalent specification Rollators through medical supply retailers. 3 reasons remain, and what is coming at number 3 is the item generating the most enthusiastic online sharing behavior of anything in the entire June rotation. 3. The full-spectrum SAD therapy lamp seasonal mood disruption is not limited to winter. Contrary to popular assumption, circadian rhythm disruption from inadequate light exposure affects people year-round, particularly those who spend the majority of their time indoors regardless of season, and the symptoms including sleep disruption, low energy, and mood changes are frequently misattributed to unrelated causes. This lamp delivers the clinical 10,000 lux intensity at the specific wavelengths the suprachiasmatic nucleus responds to for circadian rhythm calibration, with UV filtering that provides the neurological benefit without skin and eye exposure risk, in a compact format suitable for desk or breakfast table use during a morning routine. The twice-annual window follows the 2 periods when light therapy demand peaks, for different reasons. The winter window addresses the obvious seasonal affective disorder timing. This June window addresses something less obvious but equally significant: the circadian disruption that comes from increased screen time, irregular summer schedules, and the sleep disruption that longer daylight hours paradoxically create for many people's internal rhythm. Comparable clinical-grade SAD lamps from specialty wellness retailers cost 3 to 5 times the Aldi price for functionally equivalent therapeutic output. Former employees described this lamp generating some of the most enthusiastic sharing behavior of any item in the rotation, precisely because so few people realize light therapy has year-round relevance. What is coming at? Number 2 combines 2 health monitoring functions that most people have never had access to simultaneously at any price point, let alone this one: the portable pulse oximeter and blood pressure monitor. Combination home blood pressure monitoring is recommended by cardiologists for the majority of adults managing hypertension, providing the data continuity between clinical visits that single office readings cannot deliver. Pulse oximetry, monitoring blood oxygen saturation, has become a standard home health practice for anyone managing respiratory conditions, cardiovascular disease, or simply wanting early warning of respiratory compromise that symptoms alone might not communicate clearly until a situation has progressed significantly. This combination device integrates both monitoring functions in a single compact unit with a display readable at arm's length without correction glasses, a memory function storing the previous 30 readings with timestamps, and Bluetooth connection to a companion app that converts raw numbers into trend visualizations accessible to anyone without clinical training. The twice-annual appearance reflects the genuine medical device sourcing relationships required to deliver this specification at this price. Relationships that Aldi's procurement team has built specifically to make this device available without the markup that medical device retailers and pharmacy chains typically apply. Former employees describe the shelf clearance rate for this item as unlike anything else in the twice-annual health rotation, gone within a single day at virtually every location where it appears. One item remains. And former employees, longtime Aldi shoppers, and the health communities who track this rotation all identify it as the single most significant twice-annual return on this entire list. 1. The Full Body Composition and Cardiovascular Health Smart Scale. A standard bathroom scale tells you one number. This device tells you 14. And the gap between those two pieces of information represents one of the most significant health monitoring upgrades available to any household at any price point. Beyond weight, the device measures body fat percentage, lean muscle mass, visceral fat level, bone density estimation, body water percentage, basal metabolic rate, and pulse wave velocity. One of the most sensitive non-invasive markers of arterial stiffness and cardiovascular age available outside a clinical setting. Visceral fat, the metabolically active fat surrounding internal organs, is a more powerful predictor of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes risk than total body weight, or even total body fat percentage. Someone whose weight has remained stable can experience significant visceral fat increases through age-related muscle loss without any change in the number a standard scale reports. Lean muscle mass monitoring addresses the single most important determinant of functional independence, fall risk, and recovery capacity from illness, allowing targeted dietary and activity adjustments that weight alone could never inform. The twice-annual appearance follows the 2 periods when health monitoring motivation peaks across the calendar: January and this June window, when summer health goals and the desire for a genuine health baseline before the season's activities begin both drive demand simultaneously. Established health technology brands deliver this measurement breadth at prices positioning the device as a significant health investment. The Aldi price positions it instead as the obvious purchase for anyone who understands what visceral fat trending and lean muscle mass monitoring actually mean for long-term health, available for a window measured in days before the rotation closes again until the next return. That is the complete list. 15 items that only return to Aldi twice a year, and all 15 are back right now for June 2026. The cast iron collection, the weighted blanket, the garden kneeler and seat, the compression bundle, the Egyptian cotton towels, the true HEPA air purifier, the stand mixer, the infrared sauna blanket, the weighted silk touch robe, the outdoor storage deck box, the commercial food dehydrator, the Rollator walker, the SAD therapy lamp, the pulse oximeter and blood pressure monitor, and the full body composition smart scale at number 1, where the health information it delivers says it belongs. Wednesday morning, before 9. This week, because the next appearance is not until the calendar brings it back around, and that is a long time to wait for something that is sitting on the shelf right now. Thanks for watching. If you found this twice-a-year breakdown useful, let us know in the comments which item you are racing to Aldi for. First, click the video on the left right now to see the complete monthly guide to everything new at Aldi this June, including the items worth grabbing before they disappear again. And if you do not want to miss the next twice annual window before it closes, hit that subscribe button right now.